Hey everybody, hey guys, hey gals, hey everybody, surviving cyber torture, surviving this uh, brutal mind rape and nervous system rape every day of our lives. I hope you're staying strong. I hope you're staying, I hope you're reaching towards God all the time, just holding his hand through this. So this video, this is my apology. Um, I guess as a lot of you know, I had an interview or, I had Brian on to talk about the Gothard Tunnel, and then we just had a conversation about just targeting in general. Um, I do apologize. I told Brian not to say any names and not to accuse people directly. It was okay if we talk about infiltration in general into the community. I really do apologize. I was super tired, and I actually just thought it was like one part in the video that he kind of said, that, and I don't even want to say what he said because I don't want to give it too much oxygen. But just to say this, like the targeted individuals that are doing so much work and you were accused of things like I really am so sorry, and I understand your anger because I've been accused of that in my comment section. Targeted individuals I've talked to in my comment section have called me a murderer, said I murdered their friends or something like that, just because they thought that I was some kind of agent. So I get that. Like Frank, I understand your anger. I really am sorry. um, I just wasn't thinking about it. Most of the conversation and most of the video was okay and was good information, right? And then there were these little spots, and in my head, what I was thinking is, we know how Brian thinks about, um, the leadership of like the target individual community. And I just thought everybody knew. So I was kind of in that mindset. I was also extremely tired. I'd spent the day, hanging out with my grandma, talking to Brian for I think 7 hours that day. And I kind of just wanted to get the video up afterwards. What I should have done is I should have talked to Brian and said, you can't say this stuff. I'm going to have to edit all this stuff out. Even then, though, I didn't realize how many really bad things were peppered throughout the entire video. So what I'm going to do now, guys, and especially for for you targeted individuals who you have your organizations, you've been doing so much work for the TI community. I'm going like right now. I'll show you guys. I have my YouTube editor up, and I'm just going to take every trace of naming names and having accusations with them, take that all out, and just leave, parts of the conversation that I thought was good information, but it has nothing to do with that. That's kind of my plan for right now. Um, Not quite sure because I got to talk to Brian. Might not even want it to stay up if I have to cut some of it out. Which okay, I'll take it down. And then also the people who were angry about it, y'all got to take a look at it. I'm going to scour it and make sure there's nothing in there like that. But I would like to leave up the parts about the Gothard Tunnel. I thought that was very interesting. And then a lot of the things about the audio Bible, and stuff like that. And the general information was good. I thought. And like I said, like I always say, I disagree with Brian. Let me say this: I disagree completely on the accusations of who he was accusing, and I've told him that. I thought that I guess I was thinking that would be enough if because this always happens, right? Like on other videos, Brian always kind of says things like this. So I didn't. I guess I didn't predict the anger or shock, right? I didn't think this would be shocking because we all, kind of know Brian's views on that. But that's no excuse. It's no excuse. I should have thought better and edited it before I put the video out. And I should have let him know I was going to have to edit it, because it's past inappropriate, you know. I think we do need to talk about COINTELPRO and infiltration and things like that, but we need to be careful about how we're doing it, and we don't need to accuse people because what happens, guys, is it gets into an area of defamation and slander, and so it's like Brian can come on my channel and say a bunch of bad stuff about like pretty much all the leadership of the TI community. Then he kind of, he's done his interview, and then I can, I could potentially get my channel taken down, videos reported, and we got to learn something about, and this is like, I don't agree with him on those things. The people that he accused, I think that they are real targeted individuals really helping. We say we will know them by their fruits, and then people don't. And you see these people's fruits; they're helping the targeted individual community. But I wanted to say, I forgot what else I want to say, but I just do really want to apologize. I should have, like, it's almost like I remember that one part at the beginning, but like I'm starting to have close to Alzheimer's, because it's like, and I kind of knew this was going to happen with my targeting. They're not really mind controlling me or making me do a bunch of stuff, but they're just so many frequencies and so many things that they're doing that my brain's just kind of burning out, right? So I'm going to watch this in the future. If you do come on, and you want to be interviewed, you cannot accuse people directly. You can't say names like that because it gets into slander, especially targeted individuals who are trying to step up in like all of you. I understand your anger. Frank, I'll just take Frank for example. I understand, brother. You've gone to the hospital many times. You're fighting through this. You're trying to step up and still, do radio show, have your organization and stuff going through all this. I get it. I just didn't, in my head, it was like, okay, Brian says this stuff all the time. A lot of the information's good, but we know what to expect. But I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. So I was just so tired, didn't realize how much of it was throughout the video. So basically, guys, and I don't want to say exactly what he said because I'm editing that out. The video's on private right now. I really would like to keep most of the video up. Anything that's not accusatory of specific people, right? I'm going to just chop all that out. But I do think a lot of the things we talked about were very important and could help targeted individuals, right? Um, so I hate this. I feel like everything, or lately in the last couple of years, like everything in my life from the targeting, it's this situation where it's like, okay, this is good, but this is really bad, right? And it's like these irreconcilable situations that I feel like I'm getting into. If you're going to move forward, it's like, oh, you can't, like somebody's going to be mad about something, right? This is an extreme situation though, which I should have caught. I was so tired, and after me and Brian did the video, I just wanted to get it up. I just wanted to post it and kind of get done with the day. And I think that even if I would have said, oh well, I got to edit out that part, I would have edited out one part, and I would have missed some of those at the end, right? Because like I just wasn't, like I was paying attention, but it's almost like I forgot the other parts. But basically, I really want to apologize. I want to do a public apology because I realize how much it hurts when another TI, calls me a murderer. I've had it happen, and I want to say that this is going to be on private until I can edit out all of those parts, and I'm going to go through with a fine tooth comb and really make sure there's nothing in there that disparages a targeted individual who's taken a leadership role and has done so much for the community. Um, so that's what I'm doing now, and I'm going to put it up. Probably, it might not even be, we'll see, but I'm going to make sure that it's clean, no defamation or anything like that. Yeah, I do feel like though. I do feel like we've got a complicated situation. We're in a war. Like I feel like I am. I'm being killed. Like Brian's really hurting too. When we get people on these videos, it's hard. Sometimes they're going to say intense things because they're being murdered, and then it's like we do have this question of what's going on, what's out there, right? How much COINTELPRO, crisis acting, cyber-placed agents, people, there are questions, and we've got to go about this the right way. There's a way to find out more about this, and if you're accusing somebody, you better have them on tape saying that they are like working for a government program or something like that. Now at the end of that, I want to say I disagree with Brian about all the people that he accused. I think those people are real targeted individuals. Like, I've talked to all of them. I talked to them about their targeting and stuff like that. Um, Dr. Matthew Aaron's situation is a little bit different. It's different. He's not being targeted now, or maybe he is. I don't know. But still, you can't accuse people, especially people that just want to come in and help. You got to look at their situation and talk to them to understand why they're here and stuff like, instead of just jumping to conclusions. Okay, so the basic thing, I'm rambling a lot, but I do want to apologize. I should have edited that stuff out. I just wasn't thinking about it. I was just thinking, okay, well, Brian has said this kind of stuff on other people's videos. I did not expect the response I got, and a lot of people were angry at me, and whatever. I didn't say it, but I didn't edit it out. I'm just this is a war. Brian has good information on the remote neural manipulation. It's a very important part of this. I don't hear a lot of people all over that are TIs speaking about it the way that Brian does in the hypergame theory with the remote neural manipulation. And they're trying to get more and more in tune with your brain and create this digital clone of the brain to do things. Like, I've experienced this in my targeting. So I feel like that people are dying. So I feel like that information that he has is so important, but I do disagree with him wholeheartedly on a lot of things. He knows this. He knows this. So me saying it is not going to hurt his feelings or anything. But what the problem is, that when it becomes like, okay, you're talking and stuff, and you're just saying things that you think you're just telling the truth. You're just telling the truth and stuff, but you can take somebody's channel away by saying those certain things, right? So we do have to be careful about who we accuse. And this is like, so I disagree with him about everybody that he was accusing, but let's take a hypothetical. I guess I don't really want, but like a hypothetical, say there was somebody in the community that I thought was not for real. Like, I make a video saying, oh, well, they're, blah, blah, whatever, really bad things. And then they can be like, okay, they, report it to YouTube and be like, hey, this is hate speech and stuff like that. We're dealing with hardcore censorship and some really serious things. So we do still have to be careful, even though we're in this mentality of like it's a war and we really don't know. And this is saying, I don't agree with him about those people. We don't know who's who, right, on whole. And there is infiltration in the community. So these things, I really want to say this, and I say it a lot, and you guys that are targeted individuals, and maybe you haven't like built a channel, or you haven't created an organization, or done a moderated a call and stuff like that. When somebody steps up, like Ella or Frank, or me, and we do so, it's like you're automatically seen as an agent by like so many targeted. Even me, who I was like, I swear on my grandparents' prayers, I swear on my parents' life that I am a real targeted individual, and I'm not being paid by anybody. Right? Still, people maybe don't hear that on one video, and then they still think I'm an agent or something. So it just happens. It's a real tragedy. People who are being targeted, they step up and then they're accused. It's horrifying. And Frank sent me a letter. I don't know if he wants me to go through it all, but I am, like, I'm putting it on private. I'm gonna edit all that stuff out. This is my public apology, not for saying anything bad against targeted individuals, but telling Brian not to say any names, and then afterwards I should have edited it. And I was so tired that I was like, oh, this is just par for the course in my mindset. I didn't really think about it. I didn't really think about it. So now I'm going to edit those things out. I am going to put the video back up. I think there was some extremely useful stuff in there, but then those spots were beyond inappropriate, because I know how it feels too. When I'm like a targeted individual working so hard, and then somebody like in the comments accused me of killing like two of their friends. Like, I guess the guy was a real TI or whatever. I didn't see him much after that. But it hurts. Like, you're doing all this work, and then you're just, you're labeled this villain, and then the worry is that some people Brian is right about some things, and that they see that he's right about those things, and they just think he's right about everything, and then they start going after those people that's a real danger, right? And so anybody that heard that, you need to be thinking for yourself, and you need to be looking at what these people are really doing, and not just accusing them, not just jumping on any kind of bandwagon or anything like that. It gets dangerous. This stuff is really complicated. I try and do my best. I'm very, very sick, and I knew it was going to I knew it was going to be like, okay, well, they're not going to really, but they're going to burn out my brain, and that's kind of, I'm fighting that and stuff like that. But it's like when I'm really tired and we're just talking, I don't even remember those really drastic parts of the video, right? So I'm going to try and stay away from anything very, very, all of this is controversial. Like targeting is just controversial. We've got to stay away from the accusations. And I mean, calling somebody a perp is one thing, but then the things that Brian said, it does go into those things that are more of a legal nature. And I don't want anything bad for my channel. And the people that were angry, they know that I believe they're a real target, and I hope y'all do, all of y'all, that y'all know that I think y'all are real target, and I love what y'all are doing. It's a complicated thing for me because Brian is targeted. He's dying. I want to get him up to say, what he thinks is important, right? But then we've got that complication of like, this is a war and people don't trust each other, and then what are the kind of extreme things that they're going to say? I'm going to be much more careful about that in the future. I want to say that I thank all of you, Ella, Derek, Frank, Matthew, Aaron, Midge at Targeted Justice. I want to thank y'all for all the crap that you've gone through. I want to go even further than just apologize. I want to thank y'all, and I want to let my viewers know that I don't agree with Brian, and I'm taking all those out to not give it too much oxygen. I know people are going to be interested probably after this video, exactly did he say, for people that maybe didn't see it. I almost kind of said, well, I really shouldn't make an apology video, so then I can just totally diffuse it, take those things out. It's just gone. But I think enough people saw those that I do have to talk about it, right? Understand y'all's anger. I didn't say it before the thing. I said don't say anybody's names and stuff like that. I do think there's a lot of useful information in this video. I'm going to be very, very careful about that. I'm going to be setting a lot of ground rules if you do come on. But this is why I'm careful. I'm so careful about panels and things like that, because if you have a social media account, you get and this is just a rule across the board. You have a channel, somebody comes in chat and says something, somebody comes on your video and says something that's like really bad, that could get your channel taken down or get a strike against it, and you take the responsibility for it, right? And that's for everybody that has anything like a channel or a call or anything like that. We have to put in safeguards. It's called staying power. I know a lot of you targeted individuals, you're just like, just accuse anybody, and you just say what you think, but you don't got no staying power. You see, you burn bridges and things. And I'm not talking about anybody specific. I'm just saying there has to be some diplomacy in this, and there has to be some carefulness in it to keep going on the really important, not lose all of that, right? And maybe if you do think somebody is not for real or something, talk in a certain way about it. Talk in a correct way about it. Don't like go off accusing them of horrific things that you're not sure of, right? I love you guys. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. We'll be doing some more stuff. I don't think I apologize. I should have just said no, can't put that out until I get this edited out. I should have talked to Brian and said, hey, you can't say this stuff, and I'm gonna have to edit all this stuff to put it out. I'm gonna do that anyway, but we're gonna see. The video might not stay up. It's gonna take me, because this thing, it's like this YouTube editor. You go in there, you edit a part out, and I think I've got all the sections where anything bad was, really bad was said. You edit out. It takes a couple of like hours to edit that part, so it might just be this weekend that I get it back up. I thought a lot of it was very, very good. A lot of it was just super, super important information. Was really good. But this kind of stuff happens. I just wasn't in that mindset. Like this kind of intense accusations kind of have been happening all the time in the TI community. I just had it in a certain mindset. I shouldn't have. I should have been like, that is got to be edited out, right? So I apologize to all you guys that are doing so much work for the target individual community. I guess that's all I gotta say, and I'm just gonna be way more careful in the future. We can't do that, guys. Like, I want my channel. I want to be able to talk about the really important things, and then we do. There's a reality of infiltration and things like that, but we got to tackle it in a way that is that's talking about it correctly. That's getting more concrete evidence of exactly how it's done and things like that. So all right, guys, I love y'all. Just trying to think if there's anything else. I did want to explain too. I did want to explain too that like I don't agree with everything that Brian says. I say that all the time. He knows that, but a lot of the information that he has studied from Robert Duncan and some certain scientists, it's crucial because this is about. It's not just people getting hit with microwaves for years and years with nothing happening to their brain. And I just maybe a lot of people are talking about it and I'm just perceiving it like there's not enough. And so I want Brian talking about that part, right? Because it's life and death, right? It's a life and death situation, but it brings complications along with it where he may say something about somebody who's also doing incredible work to save TI's lives, and it's this complication, right? So I'll be more careful about it. Um, I'll just be more careful about it. It gets really hard when uh, is it like my channel is getting bigger and I'm trying to grow things, but I'm getting sicker and my brain is having more trouble as this goes on. So I'm going to find some more defensive things. I always trust in God, His plan. I don't know exactly what he has in store for me. But I always just try and have a lot of faith. And but I've got to say that, like, yeah, it's tough when you have a channel that's growing. And it what I guess what I saw from this is that people do think my channel is influential, and so it's not just a little channel or Brian saying this. It's like people respect my channel and they know a lot of people. So I've got to consider that more. I've got to consider that more. It just gets hard because of the targeting gets my it's kind of hurting me more, hurting my brain more. But then the channels get and have some more responsibilities when I won't go there. We need new blood in here. We need new blood coming in and building up channels. People that have maybe been targeted for a year and stuff like that, but know about the mind control to kind of to jump in here. I know it's tough. I know people don't want to run up and do it. And I know a lot of people are. So we'll just do our best. We'll do our best, but I think what I'm going to try and do moving forward is just not put people need to know the rules. And if you're like, okay, I can do that, I can come on and do an interview, and you say I can't say any names, I'll stick to that. Then we'll do that. But like let's say we're on a live stream and somebody accuses somebody by name and says something horrible about them, I'll erase the live stream to save my channel, to save the channel and all the things that we talk about that are so crucial to getting us out of this situation, right? There has to be. You can't just like destroy everything you built to accuse somebody that's not even 100%, right? Which I disagree with them on those things. I just want to make that clear. Also want all right. I guess that's all I have. We'll see. I'm gonna get everything out, put the video back up. I think there's useful things in it. I really want to apologize to anybody who Brian did say, did basically call up her, right? And I think it really sounded like it wasn't hyperbole, but that's kind of like when I talk about gangs. There's no justification. I'm not going to even try and justify it, but I just want to say like when I talk about gang stalkers, I call them murder, even though they're not physically murdering me. They're part of the program, right? And I'm not saying anybody accused is a part of this program. I'm just saying sometimes those things are they are hyperbole, but it didn't sound like hyperbole at all, you know. And I'm not trying to justify it. I'm just saying this is a complicated situation where we're in a war and some weird stuff's going to get said, you know. Not justifying it. I'm going to be way more careful in the future. I really apologize to anybody who was way more than insulted, and I understand that. I really understand that. I'm gonna fix it, edit all that out. And this is the thing. Like I would really like for most of this, like, because it's just gonna be a couple of sections that I'm editing out. I really like for it to stay up. We're gonna see, you know, because it's really up to the people who, um, you know, who Brian said stuff about. You know, it's really up to them if there's anything in there. But I'm gonna get it all out. You know, get all that stuff out. Just trying to. There was a lot of stuff that I kind of wanted to say. I said some of it, I guess, right. It's a complicated times. A complicated problem. I don't want to make it any more complicated for myself or for the people who watch my channel who I just want to help. Um, you know, so I really apologize for that, for not editing it. Just tired. I had it in a mindset of like, this is just, it's a targeted individual channel. We all kind of know where Brian stands on that stuff, and he said, you know, but going back and listening to it, I guess I wasn't paying attention. It was pretty bad. It was very bad, and I understand y'all's anger. So I'm gonna get that edited out. Might not be till this weekend that I get it back up. Um, yeah, and and those parts are really bad. We can't do that. You know, we just can't do that, no matter what. And also I just heard something like, I heard something like Brian was like rolling over me in the interview, but I wanted Brian to just come on and talk, right? Because I yammer and I blab all the time about this stuff, and so the way that Brian, it was just better him coming on and just talking about stuff and me asking questions. So I wasn't just letting him roll over me and just say whatever he wanted, although that did happen. That was kind of the you know, it's like we talked about. He was just supposed to come on, talk about the Gothard Tunnel, you know, talk about targeting a little bit. I thought it'd be like a 2 hour thing. It turned into longer, and then those things were said. So really wasn't prepared for what happened, you know, and wasn't thinking. Just wanted to get it up afterwards, which was a mistake. Like looking at those things because you're like this is okay. I'll explain it to the people that are very angry about what Brian said, and you have every right to be. I just want to explain my mindset. I'm in targeted individual kind of mindset where it's like, okay, we're dying. Brian's telling a bunch of important information, and you know, he says something that's really bad, but he said those things before, and I was like, you can't say that, right? And I thought that would be okay because you know, it's happened so many times before. That's not the case. I should have edited it, and I really apologize. And I'm going to correct this, get out crucial information from this, and we'll just see how that goes. Please, you know, any of the people who are angry, email me. Let me know if that's okay. But I guess it's really going to be when I get the finished thing out. Y'all can take a look at it. I'll assure you, it's not going to have anything in there with any specific names. All right, I guess that's it. I got it. Like I'm so sick from the targeting stuff. I think I'm just going to have to just stay away from anything that might be really controversial or anything like that, and just get my information out. And I'm gonna have to make some little rules if people want to come on for interviews and stuff. And we're gonna have to stick to them because you know, I want people to have a voice, but it's like when it could take away all the work that I've done, then there has to be rules for that stuff. No matter what you believe about anybody, you know, and it's called staying power. And so the hypothetical thing, which I don't agree with Brian on any of those people, but if I did think that somebody was an infiltrator, like you know, I don't know, it's just a hypothetical thing, and then I accuse them and say a bunch of bad, so I can lose all that other work that I have, right? and then it's not, you don't have staying power. You did that, you accuse somebody, which is not going to help anything, and then you lose all the other information that could help people, right? And that's what happens. That's what happens with those things. It's the only thing that happens with those things. They never correct anything. And let's say this hypothetical person that maybe I think is not, is not a target individual or something, you know, people are going to support them. Some people are going to think they're not, or whatever. It's not gonna help us. It's not going to help move us forward in any way. So we got to talk about those things differently, and we can't accuse people who are doing really good things for the TI community. Um, okay, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and put this video out, and then I'm going to make sure that other one, just every part of it, where any names or accusations were put out, all that's taken out, and then I'm going to put that back up. Then we'll talk. All the people that were angry, let me know what you think. It's it's really up to them. You know, when things like that, it's sad because it's a lot of important information, but like it's people who are called such bad things on this video. I really wasn't thinking about it. I'm gonna edit it out, but then at the end of the day, it's like we're all gonna have to make a decision, I guess. And then I'm gonna have to move on with my channel and do things where this doesn't happen anymore. Because I'm too sick to deal with it. Like this was supposed to be a like me and Brian were just chatting. We just jump on here. He just talks about stuff, and it turned into like people emailing me and disappointed in me, and like maybe some litigation maybe and stuff like that, which I get it, like I get that, I get the anger, but I'm gonna fix this stuff. um, and I really do understand it when people step up. You're dealing with your targeting, you're in so much pain, and then you're getting accused all the time. There does come where it's like, I've had enough of this. Look, I'm gonna report your channel or do something. You better take that. I get it. I really get it. Like, I totally understand. And I really do apologize. I apologize for putting this out, and then triggering those real target individuals that are putting themselves on the line and every day going through the pain and doing this stuff. I really do apologize because I understand. Um, okay, guys, so that's it. Apologize for not editing that out. Now I'm going to edit it out. Just was in a totally different mind state. All this stuff is crazy all the time. So, some people say stuff that I just really disagree with, but then they have really good information, and I've just gotten used to that. I've just gotten used to that complication, but I got to be more careful because my channel is, even though it's not huge, right? A lot of really good target individuals watch my channel. I got to be more careful about the information that I'm putting out. I want to get more. I want to get people talking on here. I just need rules. It just seems easier when I just talk, because I can control that kind of, and not get us in trouble. Not get this channel, not get the Wolverines in trouble. The Wolverines got to stay out of trouble because we got big work to do. All right, guys, I love y'all. I'm not sure. I think this weekend I'm going to do something. We'll do something. 3,500 subscribers, so we got to do a panel. I was thinking about maybe doing like a panel thing where I saw what's his name do it. The scariest movie ever. He would open his his panel thing, and then one person at a time would come in, and they kind of talk for 15 minutes about what was going on with them, what was important in their life, the thing that they wanted to tell everybody, and then after that 10 to 15 minutes or whatever, then another person would come on. I was kind of thinking that would be cool, and we could do a couple of hours of that, so more people would get to talk. I'm just concerned about, like, you get a panel and you get the people who really, they're like, yeah, I want to talk, and then they get on the panel, but then it's like the people who are a little bit more shy or whatever never really get to come on. They're like, everybody's kind of filling off the panel, and I want to do it in ways where everybody could have a voice, right? And different people could talk, so the video would actually be good and get a lot of views too, for people to understand this stuff, right? All right, guys, I think that's it. I just really apologize for not editing that out. I wasn't even in my headspace. I was like, I thought it happened once. I thought because I said, oh, hey, you can't say that, and I completely disagree with you, that kind of fixed it. Um, well, so tired at the end of the day, didn't think about it. Um, all right, so I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna put it back out, and then we're all gonna move on, right? Hopefully. And anybody who is angry, please send me an email. Let me know if this is okay. We'll just talk about it more. Um, we'll just talk about it more. But this is my plan for now, to edit out anything like that, it's private it right now, so nobody can see it, and then put it back out. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.